Back here, first things first, with the gift that keeps on giving, the storyline of Deshaun Watson. Deshaun says he wants to be traded from Houston. Houston GM said he has zero interest in trading Deshaun, and thus we have ourselves a situation. Hall of Famer Brett Favre chiming in with this eye-opening quote. Take a listen.
I'm kind of old school. I think you play, you get paid a ton of money to do a certain job, and just do it and let the chips fall where they may. I think we make too much money to voice an opinion, but I'm not saying he's wrong. I think it's a different day and time.
All right, Coach Mangini back with us, but Brandon, let me start with you. What'd you make of Brett Favre's comments?
Yeah, Jenna, this was old versus new. We hear this all the time in sports, our generation compared to this generation. Things changed since Brett retired in 2010. Hell, things changed while I was still in the NFL. You know, I came in the NFL, there was no social media. We had players in the box, meaning we eliminated the distractions. We didn't give our opinions and our takes because we knew it could potentially be a distraction to the team and what we were trying to accomplish in the locker room. But you fast forward, then you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you have guys actually showing who they really are and leaning into their personality. Coach, you know this. When we used to come in that 8 a.m. Team meeting, it was everybody focused, sitting in your seats, notepads open, pen in your hand. Towards the end of my career, playing for the New York Giants, I walk into the locker room. You got Odell Beckham Jr. dancing. You got Sterling Shepard dancing. The music is loud. Coach McAdoo's in the front. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I couldn't relate. So even when you think about off the field, things has changed. Guys understand the power of their platform, so you have to be able to evolve and you have to accept it. Guys are going to push it now, and that's what Deshaun Watson is doing now. He understands his platform, he understands his power, and he's saying, I want a better situation. Not everybody's going to agree with it. And Brett Favre, coach, your guy, for 3 years in Green Bay, he was holding the Green Bay Packers hostage. I'm going to retire. I'm not going to retire. I'm going to retire. They retire. And then they had plans to put his jersey in the rafters. I think it was a leverage play. Then he comes back, and then you go get him. So I don't know. It's your guy. You tell me if he's wrong or not, coach.
I love that he's become my guy. I was only with him for one season, and I really enjoyed being with him. Things have changed. It's not like back in the day where you tell a guy to run through the wall and he runs through the wall. And it's changed in pro football, it's changed in college football, it's changed in high school football. Right. And I think that's a good thing. Players are demanding to understand the why, and they have a right to understand the why you're asking them to do certain things. Now, the way that contracts are structured, and I was told this a long time ago, you either want free agency or you want security. You can't have them both. And Deshaun Watson just recently signed a contract, which means he doesn't have the option for free agency. And you've got an organization with a new GM, a new head coach, and they want to try to make this work. They want to be given the opportunity to try to make this work, and hopefully they can sit down and talk through that. Now, the player's right, like the player's right is always, is to withhold their services, and Brett did that to some degree by threatening retirement. And Deshaun could threaten to hold out, but that's counterproductive as well. I'd say at the end of the day, there hasn't been a fundamental power shift. The power is still whoever holds the contract, but there is a shift in the way discussions are being had and the power that players do have, at least to get their story out to the public.
All right, folks, I'm going to say what I think a lot of people were thinking listening to Brett Favre. Where have I heard this before? Oh, that's right. It's shut up and dribble. Paid too much money to have a voice. Go out there and play. Go out there and play and leave the business stuff to the adults. And of all people to say it, Brett Favre, dripping in the hypocrisy of not demanding a trade, simply as Brandon said, holding a team hostage like a bad extortionist that comes back year after year after year for the same payday, for the same attention, for the same Ed Werder helicoptering in to his ranch in Mississippi with the latest boots on the ground. I'm old enough to remember Brett Favre being the first diva quarterback. And I'm old enough to remember our friend Carson Palmer then following that up by doing the same thing to the Bengals. And nobody mutters a word. Brett Favre's the most beloved quarterback in the league. Carson gets what he wants. And now Deshaun, there's just something different about Deshaun. I can't quite put my finger on it. Deshaun says the most poorly run organization in sports, I don't want to be here anymore. And Brett tells him to shut up and play. It's embarrassing. And I know it's Super Bowl week and we have a million other things to talk about, which is why we can't spend more time on it. But we could do 2 hours on this, and it's not about old school, new school. It is about what's good for me is not good for you. And it is fascinating to me, the guys, Jenna, who it's allowed to be good for, and the guys who are being selfish divas, and the way that's represented.
All right, we are going to leave that there. We're going to get back out on the field and get yourself ready for Super Bowl 55. Much more First Things First right after this.
Changed while I was still in the NFL. You know, I came in the NFL, there was no social media. We had players in the box, meaning we eliminated the distractions. We didn't give our opinions and our takes because we knew it could potentially be a distraction to the team and what we were trying to accomplish in the locker room. But you fast forward, then you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you have guys actually showing who they really are and leaning into their personality. Coach, you know this. When we used to come in that 8 a.m. Team